I've spent over $110 million on Google Ads since 2017, and the biggest mistake I see e-com brand owners make is treating their product feed like they do with organic SEO, when the reality is Google Shopping actually needs high buying intent optimization. So in this video, I'm going to break down step by step my exact strategy on how to structure product titles for paid traffic, which backend attributes Google actually cares about in 2026 and onwards, and why your product feed is literally your new targeting with Google Ads. But before any of that, what you want to understand is the place and situation where most brands actually get this wrong is thinking that organic SEO strategies and organic SEO keywords is essentially the same thing as doing SEO strategies for paid traffic. And this could not be further away from the truth, because what you want to keep in mind is there's three different buying intent audiences that come through organic traffic. There's the education-based intent audience, there's the people who want to actually purchase later, the low buying intent, and then on top of that, sprinkled in between, is the people who actually want to purchase right now, and these are the people you want to go after with paid traffic. But on the paid ad side, there's really no leeway for you to spend money on the education-based audience or on the low buying intent audience, because that is where you end up losing money, and that's where you end up causing a lot of inefficiency with your overall strategic approach. And these how to use a product or how does this work kind of keywords, which are essentially connected to medium buying intent audiences or even on the lower end, essentially end up wasting your budget because they have no intention of purchasing, and that too right now. And this ultimately reduces your chances of not only winning more Google's auctions, but actually lowering your CPCs. That's why you see so many brand owners, and you might yourself have complained about this, where the CPCs are essentially going through the roof. And a very clear example of a medium buying intent keyword would be something like, for example, if we were selling 3D printers, how to use 3D printer. Now, if we scroll down, you might see some ads come up, you might see some organic listings come up, but this overall, this kind of approach leads to somebody who already has a 3D printer and is potentially trying to find ways to use the 3D printer the right way. Nowhere does this keyword compare to maybe a keyword where somebody literally just types in 3D printer. And if you were to go after organic traffic related strategies, the first keyword that we searched up, how to use a 3D printer, might be ideal. But when it comes to paid traffic, again, this ends up wasting a lot of your money. And the easiest way to kind of tackle this issue is to start off your overall product feed strategy by attacking the product titles in the right manner. Now, there's a very simple formula starting with the product titles that I've come up with, which works 99% of the time. The equation is essentially high perceived value increasing keywords at the very start of the title, and in the middle is the SEO keyword, search engine optimized, that you actually did and found via research, or you look within the insight section. And then finally, at the end, to close the gap, to close the loop, it's branded keywords. This product title is the go-to that I use across a variety of different industries and a variety of different niches, and it just ends up working. Now, at the very start, with the high perceived value words, all you're essentially focused on is certain keywords which people and your audience essentially is looking for within your industry or within your niche. For example, going back to the 3D printer, just in general, if we were trying to sell this product, again, some keywords which might be better suitable for this type of keyword would be the keywords such as premium, which is a high perceived value increasing keyword, or maybe something like adjustable, or fast acting, or easy to use. All these things are high perceived value increasing keywords, and what they do is they essentially increase the value of your products in general through the product that they see online. Forget about the product that they will receive in the mail. Just increasing the value here is enough to improve your CTRs and to increase your quality score for your Google Ads account, which until leads you to better quality traffic that is not just medium buying intent or low buying intent traffic. But in general, with this structure, you want to follow this high perceived value keywords followed by actual SEO keywords, and you can have multiple different SEO keywords here. Again, if you look at these product titles, for instance, we can see there's a lot of keywords that brands within this industry use, from industrial grade to Z-axis stability, which is a high perceived value increasing keyword, flawless layers, positioning, accuracy, so on and so forth. Those are what we call search engine optimized keywords, because somebody essentially might be searching for a keyword like stable 3D printer or layering 3D printer, so on and so forth. All these things are based on SEO keywords, and that's where actual research comes into play. But in general, this kind of approach allows you to avoid the number one mistake brands make when it comes to product titles, which is something I call keyword stuffing. Now, what brands do, and this is a common issue with brands coming from Amazon, is they go on Google, they add in a bunch of SEO keywords within their product titles, all separated by commas, potentially something similar to what this brand has done right here. And essentially, they are doing this, and this is the perfect example as well, but they're doing this to increase the algorithm's ability to rank for those keywords, and for hopefully for the algorithm to rank their products in the top 1 to top 5 shopping listings. But as we see with this brand right here, doing keyword stuffing, putting all of these keywords side by side with commas, all it ended up doing is pushing this brand onto the 3rd page of Google's listings. This is simply because keyword stuffing is negatively looked upon when it comes to Google Ads, and the algorithm knows if you're doing keyword stuffing, it will just push your ads all the way to the back, your CPCs will increase, and the sales will plummet. Because quality score, which where you rank within the Google shopping placements or just in general, is entirely determined by the experience you give to your user. And anything in terms of the product titles, you need to first of all give a good experience to the user rating. They need to think of your brand and the product you sell as professional and what they're looking for. But number 2, the product titles you create should be created for the algorithm itself with the equation we went over earlier. You don't want to just be doing keyword stuffing, because it can backfire on you very, very quickly. But now this brings me to the kind of the main portion of a product feed, because what you want to understand is a product feed with Google shopping placement is not just the keywords, it goes beyond that. And in this situation, it's more about the Google Merchant Center attributes and what you do in the back end. Now, within the Google Merchant Center, what thing you want to look into for your own brand is under the product and store section, the store quality section. This is essentially the meat of your product feed, and a lot of your ranking, a lot of your quality score is determined based on how your brand is performing within this section right here, from shipping experience to return experience to even the browsing and purchase experience as well. So improving the quality of your product feed goes beyond just having the right product images and right product titles. You need to essentially in the back end ensure that all information that you provide, such as the delivery time, shipping cost, return window, return cost, all of these are within a certain threshold, because the threshold is going to vary based on what we are looking at. For example, with delivery time, anything within 0 to 4 is essentially excellent shipping experience for the user, and this all adds up. If we look at the very top, the overall quality score in the United States for this merchant center right now, it's at just great. You want to always be aiming at this top quality score, exceptional ranking right here, because what it does, it not only does it improve your ranking within Google shopping placement, but it gives you access to the store quality tools, and in some situations it will actually give you access to this top quality store badge, which is a big boost, because now you're getting a bunch of this authority and your CPCs will go down, as well as your CTRs actually increasing, which is what we are after. But to make that happen, you need to be providing all of the mandatory things in the back end, ranging from the GTIN numbers, the MPN, the color, size, texture, all those pieces of information which you can submit via your Google Merchant Center or just in the back end in general. It becomes that much more crucial, because that is essentially what the algorithm actually uses to find your perfect customer as well. And in addition, what you want to be doing is with all of those things, with those attributes that you add in the back end, those should be determined based on the left-hand menu right here. For example, for the keyword 3D printer, we can see on the left-hand side that Google has identified the main ones as the things ranging from the features section to the colors, to the number of extruders, to the free shipping, if it's free shipping or not, to the brand that sells it, so on and so forth. This can range dramatically based on the products that you sell. For example, if we just change this to maybe women's leggings, for example, we can get a general idea of how the left-hand section actually changes based on the keywords. Now it changes to the length, specialty, size type, product rating, like style, pricing, so on and so forth. So these things are all pieces of information which you can provide within the Google Merchant Center, within the feeds and the attributes section, because that is what Google is looking for. And so not only determine where to rank your brand, but also to determine what quality of traffic to send your way, whether it's high quality, medium quality, or even in some situations, low quality. And if you don't provide any of these attributes, or if it's very minimal with tons of warning signs, for example, if we've gone over to the overview section, we can see that a lot of these products for this brand are limited, either because some of the information is not provided, or there's policy violations in the background just lurking, causing the overall product feed to not perform as well. But ignoring these attributes is going to ultimately kill the quality score of your accounts, which is going to destroy your product feed. Now, in terms of actually fixing your product feed, it's as simple as using a specific type of application, whether it's Shopify application or just something like a software like Data Feed Watch, for example, to submit this information within your feed via these apps. Because what it does is then these apps will submit all of that necessary information into the Merchant Center, and it will use that information to find your perfect audience. And this proper categorization of these attributes, just providing all of these things, allows, for example, a woman who's looking for women's leggings to then find that specific legging which has pockets in it, or which has maybe a high rise instead of a mid rise, so on and so forth. So the categorization makes the algorithm's life easier to narrow in on exactly who would be able to buy your product. And even if, for example, a customer is not going in and selecting all of these specific things on the left-hand side on Google, because of their overall intent within Google, because of the keywords that they're typing and the overall data that gets stored in the Google Ads algorithm, Google will eventually, because you added all of these product feed attributes in, it will be eventually able to find out the perfect customer, to find out that perfect audience segment, which is looking for your product. It just makes that entire process 10 times easier. But when you combine this then with the other parts of your product feed, such as, for example, having the right kinds of product images, because if we go back to the Merchant Center, go over to the store quality, one of the determining factors of a good quality store is essentially having more high resolution images and the number of images you have per offer. So in a situation like this, we can see that high resolution images for this brand are at 9%. If we get that up to 90 to 100%, we would get into the excellent category, which is essentially what the Merchant Center is looking for to improve our product feed's quality and to get us higher quality customers. But at the same time, just having more images for offer, going up from 4 to maybe 5 to 8 images, that's going to allow us to reach a better quality audience. It's that simple as that. But in general, having higher quality images like we see right here allows the algorithm to not only crawl through it, because the algorithm on Google's end will crawl through your product image and all of the images you have on the landing pages, and it will determine, based on the pixels and the overall sizing of it, how good it is and what a user is looking for overall in the back end, and compare it to your competition. That's why a lot of these high quality product images and these high quality brands end up ranking in the very front, and the more of the lower quality ones, which are not really that clear, end up ranking in the very end. This is all about the overall quality of the image itself. So that's why you have to stay away from just using generic product images or not spending too much time on the product images, because of the brands we work with on my agency, which, by the way, if you run a brand making $50,000 or more per month in revenue, you need some extra help scaling to the next level with Google Ads, go onto my website at yourmarketing.com, schedule a completely free call with me, and let's see how we can potentially work together and make that happen. But a lot of these brands that come to us with low quality images, I see one of the major issues that they have is that they're losing a lot of their ranking because of a high search last IS rank, which is essentially the quality score of your overall ad accounts, and image has a lot to do with it. But again, keep in mind, your product feed is your ad creative with Google Shopping. The brands actually winning in 2026 treats their feed as targeting, not just description. So if you run a brand making $50K or more per month in revenue, you need some extra help scaling to the next level with Google Ads. Again, go to my website at yourmarketing.com, schedule a completely free call with me, and let's scale your brand to the very next level.